Alrighty, we have a special edition of WCATChats. We're currently in the athletic office here because it's the first signing day. So right outside, we have some fantastic student athletes who are signing to their next stop in their athletic career. And then you know where their stop before going to college? It's going to be right here in that chair where they'll join us and get to talk and talk about the process and talk about how excited they are for the future.
Yeah, some exciting things to come. But before we do that, we had a couple sports in the past week.
Yeah, we did. Starting off, we got football.
Yeah, so the football team had a very important matchup against Miller Grove last week.
Senior night
As well, and pure dominance by the Cats. I mean, continuing the success, they won 48-14. It was the most scoring game of all year. It increased the points per game well over 30. I mean, what the Cats have been able to do in the past couple of weeks has been very impressive. And honestly, they play this Saturday, 3:30 against Heritage, and I feel very confident in what the Cats will be able to do.
I mean, it's going to be a great game home here at Fritz Orr Stadium. It's going to be we got 3:30.
It's Alfred E. Thompson Stadium. And
Fritz Orr Field. I apologize. 3:30 on Saturday. WCAT coverage will be starting up around 3 o'clock. So it's going to be a pretty big production for us on our side. So it's going to be a great game.
Certainly.
And Palmer, take us to the pool. What are the
before we get to the pool? It's playoff football, so I think we should do a little bit of a deep dive into those Generals. They come out of Region 7. They were the third team behind Central Carrollton and I believe Cedartown, where Nick Chubb, UGA running back, and also where the Westminster Wildcats did take down Cedartown on the diamond last May.
We did. I did not touch the field.
Yeah.
But we also only used 2 pitchers.
I touched the field as much as you did.
That was actually the craziest. I warmed up.
Oh, true.
So,
I didn't warm up.
We only used 2 pitchers in 2 games. That was crazy.
And so this Heritage team, 6-4 overall, 3-2 in region play. And, it is a spectacular team. And one player to really look out for on that Heritage football team is they got a great wide receiver, if I can get down to him. Max Owens. He's a senior. He also has 5 picks on the year, 8 touchdowns. The QB, Brady Chandler, he's a Chattanooga State baseball committee. Or Chattahoochee State, I believe, baseball commit. He's great. And then also one last player to look out, the son of their coach, Braden Slaughter, the son of Coach Slaughter, is their leading rusher, averaging 48 yards per game. But they get the ball around between him as well as Drew Bradley, who is kind of a split back. So get ready to look at that. Talking to some people, they don't exactly have the strongest O-line, so expect Coach Pullen to try to get after the QB.
What a name. Coach Slaughter. That's got to put some intimidation into his players. But well spread offense. 5 interceptions and 8 touchdown receptions in a year is very impressive.
He's a stud.
Yeah. Talking to some Westminster football players, turns out their team is very similar to Westminster in some ways, but they did say that Westminster here, we have a lot more talent, and it should be a pretty good win for the Wildcats this Saturday. But now, jumping into the pool, Palmer, talk to us about the Catfish.
Yeah, so, the Catfish, they went up against GPS and McCauley last Thursday. And the girls, they were able to win. It was just a great comeback. And that was led by actually someone who hopefully we're going to get the opportunity to talk to later today, Katie Christopherson. It's the 4 free relay. Girls, I believe it's just about tied up. She's in the A relay. They're swimming, trying to catch up, trying to take that lead. And then Katie is able to take it and seal the deal. And, it was just a spectacular swim to take down McCauley. And speaking... Wow.
What timing.
The timing on that was just
Palmer
immaculate.
We were just talking about you and the meet versus McCauley, so this is perfect.
Walk us through the meet last week against GPS and McCauley. How did that go for you? How did it go for the team?
The team had some really awesome swims all around. It was really exciting. The energy was definitely up. One of the most exciting things was after the meet, the girls were up by 4 points after an exciting relay finish, and we just had to wait for the diving to be scored. So girls pulled out a win. Boys had a really strong finish.
And then, talking about finding UVA, pardon me, and, that whole process, how has that been like, and, how did you land on UVA?
So I was really excited to go visit UVA because right now for the past 3 years, they've won the NCAA championships. And I was just blown away by the positive team culture. I really liked the training style. The coaches are really close with all the athletes, and then the athletes are all close with each other. So it's a group I'm really excited to be a part of.
And then looking back at your Westminster career, you have put up one of the most legendary couple seasons of all time. What's been your favorite part of it?
Personally, I think my favorite part is just the team culture, especially around state. Everyone's so excited to swim. Everyone just wants to score some points for the team, so that energy makes it really easy to get up and swim fast and do my best for the Cats.
And then one last question, looking ahead towards the rest of this Westminster season, what are you excited to do as a team, but also individually to cap out your high school career?
So I'm hoping we can get another state championship, so that would mean that I've won 4 times in a row as a team for the girls, and then I'm also hoping to take down some more records. I'm not sure my meet lineup yet for state, but I'm hoping to go out with a bang.
All right, I mean, thank you so much, and good luck in your final year at Westminster and then going off to UVA.
Thank you.
I mean, swim and dive, girls took down GPS, and then the guys swam against Macaulay and unfortunately did not come out on the better end of things. Macaulay, a very talented team. They have a top 5 kid in my class 2025. He's Bohemian, actually. Marvin is his name, and he's very fast. And
Palmer, talk to us about the meet. Did you swim in it?
I did swim in it, and I dropped some time, especially, coming off an injury, a little bit of a sickness. But, yes, I did drop some time, swam pretty well.
So, Palmer, talk to us about your event. What do you swim?
Sure. So I did the 200 free and then the 100 back, and then I was in the 2 medley relay doing the 50 back, and then I was in the 4 free relay.
And what's your mentality going into swimming? Because it's just like a minute and a half straight of just physical agony. So what do you do to prepare for that?
Sometimes before I dive into the pool, maybe I'll have some song going ahead trying to give me a cadence on my stroke. Or, sometimes even if I'm not feeling about it, this is more during a practice, but, I'll be thinking about Braves or WCAT or other stuff, just planning it out as I swim along. And, my kind of mentality is I don't care if I'm down, but I try to have that energy from that last 50 really to make a push. And like I did in my 2 free, I caught up to 2 guys and ended up beating them.
Wow, Palmer. I mean, talking about push and energy, that's something you got to do when you're running, too, in cross country. I mean, guys, they won state championship right behind Joseph Jaco, who we interviewed a little bit ago. And, I mean, it was a great run for the boys. And the girls, they placed 4th, but still a great overall season for both the teams. And, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, sorry.
I was going to say, both the Jacos got within top 4. Joseph Jaco got first, and then Jacob Jaco got 4th place, which is just so cool to see brothers both ending up in the top 5 in the state race. That's remarkable.
And then in 3rd place, we had Esfon Dye, correct? Esfon Dye in 3rd. And he will not be signing today. He committed to UPenn, but we will not see him today. But we will see Joseph Jaco again for, what is it now, the second time in the net past 3 weeks?
Or 3 weeks or so, but yeah,
he's
committing today. And then also 11th place in that race, WCAT's own Gideon Zemadoun, which is, love to see it.
And he hasn't been running cross country for a while, too. It's something he recently picked up, and to have that much success is just great overall for Gideon.
But he retired from swimming to do it, so, kind of pains me a little bit. And like you mentioned, Esfon actually got 2nd place.
Okay.
So 1st place was Joseph Jaco, and he ran a 15:30, which is pretty fast. I don't know if I can do that. Esfon 15:59. Then, you have some kid from North Hall. But then you got Jacob Jaco, who ran a 16:24. And overall, the Westminster team it's like golf. You want as little points as possible in cross country. They only had 43 points. 2nd place, 84. That's a pretty nice margin there. And speaking of, we're great at this. We were just talking about cross country, and now coming on is Joseph Jaco, who will go into the seat of honor.
Joseph, welcome back. Now, this is your 2nd time on WCATChats this year, and how's the entire process? Cross country state just finished up. Talk to us a little bit about how that went for you and how it went for the team.
It went great. We went out there, we did our job. For me individually, I would say it was surprising. I did what I didn't expect to do. It was great. I ran the fastest time of the all class. And yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
And you've clearly proven yourself at the high school level. But what made you choose Georgia Tech going into your college career?
One of the biggest things was the team, the group of guys on the team. They wanted to become the best versions of themselves, athletically and academically. And that was one of the major things that I was looking for. And then Tech is a school. I want to go into computer science. They have the best computer science program in the nation. And then I love the coaches. They have amazing facilities. it ended up being a really easy decision for me. But yeah.
And what's it like, you've been going through, obviously, running and then the college process. What is it like today? Everyone's here to celebrate you. You finally get to put the pen to the paper and sign that letter of intent. What is it like really seeing that, hey, this is happening and I'm going to run in college?
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely, strange to think that, like, I'm going from high school and this is kind of another step of where I'm getting closer and closer to college. Things are about to change. It's really exciting. That this is all happening, and now I can finally, that I finally signed the national letter of intent. It's exciting. It's exciting.
And last question, you and your brother both finished in the top 5 for state. What does that mean, just from an older brother's standpoint, seeing your younger brother just less than a minute behind you?
I'm proud of him. He's putting good work. He's doing well. He's grown a lot. He's grown a lot. And it's definitely hard to perform on the state stage because there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure, and a lot of people they fold under that pressure. But I'm really happy with how he did at state.
Well, I got to say, he has a great role model to look up to, and obviously that'll give him an advantage going into his next couple years for high school cross country.
Yeah, and thank you so much, and congrats today on signing, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Great getting to talk to you. Now moving off the trails and on to the mats. First time we talked about wrestling all year, and they're finally started up, and they have their first meet, I guess. The Laster Invitational coming up this Saturday, and it's going to be a big year coming up here for the Mat Cats.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season. We have a lot of underclassmen representing this team this year, even non-seniors, so it's going to be a great year for the younger guys to really step it up.
Well, definitely. Wrestling, a very physically grueling sport. You can tell just looking down at the mat. So it's going to be demanding for these younger guys, as they will be at an age disadvantage, which will in terms be they are a little bit less developed. But that just means they'll get more of a chance to mature as time goes on. And we'll see some great things from the Cats looking down the line.
Mm-hmm. And then moving off to the mats, and we're just going to skip to the collegiate level just to set up our next guest that's coming on. But some Westminster alums doing some big things on the soccer field. I know Nitin, he had his pregame segment talking about it, but Kira Stouty, Ellie Gilbert, and Tori Penn helped UGA win the SEC tournament. So, that was great for them. And now they obviously have the NCAA tournament coming up soon. If you want to hear more from Kira, guess what? We had her on the podcast. So you can go watch that episode. And then also Henley Tippins, she helped Georgetown win the Big East. Great to see her now in her sophomore year there. And, having a big impact on that collegiate stage. So many Westminster College girls soccer players in college.
Our fellow WCAT team member, David DeCesare, and I, we covered pretty much, I think, all of the Division I soccer players. And you want to guess how many games it took us?
How many?
5.
6 games to cover all the players.
6 times 3, so 18?
18, probably around that number there.
That's absurd.
There were a lot of Division I players racking it up on the soccer pitch, and it was just great to see. And another person that you just missed, Palmer, we had Evelyn Shores for UNC. They got the number 3 seed in the playoffs for college football soccer.
College football soccer.
College football soccer.
College football soccer.
They call it college football in England.
Exactly. So it's going to be a great season. There's a lot of Westminster alums racking it up on the field.
And also, what's incredible is 3 Westminster alumni all playing on the same team.
And on UVA too, we have Ali Ross and Helen Simbas.
Yep.
And talking about D1 soccer players, we have Alex Fallon right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hi, we're here now with Alex Fallon. Alex, it's probably an amazing moment right now, signing that national letter of intent, going into the soccer season 2 in the spring. Talk to us. What are you guys looking forward for this season? Another state championship?
Definitely. We're 8 in a row right now, so we lost a lot of good players last year, but we're still looking to keep that streak going.
And last year you had a lot of great senior leadership. What does that mean for you now that you're the senior? What are you going to try and do, and what type of chemistry are you going to try and make with your team?
I've definitely been looking forward to being a senior on this team for a while. Captains with some of my best friends, so it's super exciting. Definitely going to miss the leadership from last year. Loved all of them. It was always a super great team, but we're really looking forward to focusing on team bonding this year.
Mm-hmm. And then going through the college recruitment process, what kind of made Northwestern stand out for you and where you wanted to be for the next 4 years?
Definitely the coaches, team, athletic facilities. I just really enjoyed it on my visit, and I definitely saw it was the place for me.
And you've had a really successful high school career. What's been your favorite part about it, either on the soccer field or off of it?
Definitely on the soccer field, just with the soccer team. I love playing for high school. Definitely my favorite time of year.
And then, looking ahead to college, do you have any like personal goals or like anything you really want to accomplish and, put your name out there?
I really want to get farther than Northwestern has ever gotten in the NCAA tournament. They lost to the winner last year, UCLA, in the Final 8, so I'm hoping we can get past that.
And then one final question. There's so many Westminster soccer alums playing at the D1 level. What is that like seeing them? Does that almost inspire you to be there? And are you excited to, go up and compete against some of them?
Yeah, it's definitely super encouraging to see like all of the players I played with last year starting and performing well on all the teams they're on now. And so it's definitely exciting to maybe play them in the future, see them at some games.
And thank you so much and congrats on signing today.
Thank you.
Alex, thanks so much and congratulations on Northwestern. And now turning to the basketball court, the girls and guys play Galloway this Friday. I know they've been practicing a lot starting earlier in the summer. They had some summer practices. I saw Coach Searle, Owen Cone. I did a camp with them where I was we were the instructors, and they would go off and
You're
You're a big basketball guy?
the camp that we did was actually broadcasting.
Okay.
But
guy?
big I am the broadcasting guy.
But
girls and guys play Galloway this Friday, and then they play GAC at Tuesday at home.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Boys basketball, girls basketball, it's always so much fun to watch. I know Alex and I, after our baseball practices, you always see them tearing it up on the hardwood floor here in the gym. And, it's always fun to watch. The crowd is always – there's not as many people here compared to football games, but the people who come are the diehards. They're always here cheering everybody on. It really just – it's a great atmosphere.
And, also talking about this Westminster team, on the guys' side, a little bit of transition here. You got a new coach, Coach Hicks, who we're going to get on the podcast coming up pretty soon, was going to come on today before we learned it was signing day and whatnot. But, he seems great. Got to talk to him a couple of times, especially with Northside Basketball Media Day was actually on campus. So I actually got to talk to about 10 coaches around the Atlanta area, and I heard a lot of great things about him. And speaking with him and interviewing him and hearing from the players, they really seem to like him. So it'll be really exciting to see.
And last year, a lot of young talent started playing. So this year, as they move up the ranks, we're going to look to be better and better each year. I know we got Michael Buhay, Jackson Hausner, Kyle Coleman, sophomores last year. Now they're going to be juniors, making a little bit of a bigger impact. And then also Will Riedel, Owen Cone,
Hayes Carroll,
Kent Perkins, Stan Aldridge, all the seniors now going to try and make the best chemistry as possible. I always love to talk about it, just how the seniors impact the younger players and what it looks like for the team.
And then, moving on to the girls' side of things, they had a spectacular year last year, 22-8. And speaking of the girls' basketball team, looks like we're going to have Stella Chartran coming in now.
As Palmer was mentioning, girls basketball, great season last year. Looking for an even better one this year. Stella, talk to us about how the basketball season is shaping up to be with your first game this Friday.
Well, I'm super excited for our first game. We have a lot of new faces and a lot of new practice players, so I feel like our team is definitely getting better, growing each day. So I'm super excited for the first game on Friday.
And you're going to be going to Army next year. What does that mean for your family? Your brother's going to Navy. Is there anything like a little feud between you two?
He was a little disappointed I didn't choose Navy, but for the games and stuff, I'll be definitely rooting for him, but overall, go Army.
And then going through that process, what really made Army stand out for you, not only for the basketball, but there's a lot that comes with going to West Point.
Definitely the opportunities. I feel like I'll grow as a leader. There are different opportunities after college, and it's just like an overall great institution.
And you've seen some great players from your time at Westminster on the basketball team, but who's been the biggest role model in your career?
Definitely Courtney Ogden. We've been playing together since my freshman year, so 3 years together. I've played with her during AAU season, and I've really looked up to her just because of her work ethic and how hard she works and just how great she is.
Looking off the basketball court, you're a senior now, your last year at Westminster. Any memories that you have to look back onto, you're just like, wow, that really embodies my time here? Either it's on the basketball court or maybe even off.
Just playing sports at Westminster has been really great, just softball, basketball, and then hopefully lacrosse in the spring. But, winning the region title in sophomore year was just the highlight of my high school existence.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Stella, for coming on here today. Congratulations on Army, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stella, and best of luck coming up in this upcoming basketball season and in the next 4 years over in New York, I believe is West Point. I believe it's on, right?
We'll double check on that.
We'll fact check that. I guess we're all Googling it. So while everyone's Googling, moving over.
West Point is indeed in
Highland Falls,
Alabama?
Park.
It's in New York.
Location.
It's in New
Okay.
York.
I was just reading location.
I'm right.
New York.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, West Point, really rigorous school academically
And physically.
and physically, too. It's going to be a really unique experience for Stella.
And mentally.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to that part yet. But,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it covers all facets of life. It really sets you up. Nothing better than going to a military school and then just learning. Really, there's a really strong foundation of just setting up consistent.
Success.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And, we had it in our advisement. Coming up is Veterans Day. So, great. So thankful for, everyone who served and, which will soon presumably include Stella in 6 or so years.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Or her brother, which is actually so cool to think. Like, going to rival schools. She's going to be going, because the
Rivalry.
Army-Navy football game.
It's electric.
A lot of fun. She's going to
Triple
be
option.
at Army, and she's going to be looking down and seeing her brother play on the field. You got to be like, I wonder who she'll be cheering for. Obviously, she said she'll be cheering for her brother to do well, but you don't know.
I mean, deep down, you got to be rooting for Army right there. But
Yeah, I know.
you want
Well,
to see your brother succeed.
it really depends on how it goes. But talking about college football, some new standings. What have you guys seen?
Yeah, I mean, the college football playoff rankings are out. A little bit different than the AP rankings throughout the year. Georgia falls down to number 2 as OSU. The Ohio State University is number 1. And I know he's been eyeing Texas's role in the playoffs there. He claims at least that they'll make their way up to the 4 seed.
Well, right now they should be the 6 seed. There's no reason why Oregon should be ahead of Texas if you look at everything. And, also looking at some of the other teams, I think, especially with some of the controversy going on with Michigan right now, I think that may, go into the back of some of the voters' heads as they vote. Obviously, no NCAA punishment yet, but I think some voters will definitely be conscious of that. So if they were to lose to Ohio State, all really that is needed after that is, for a Washington or an FSU loss, and then I think Texas is in, presuming that they were to win out.
And I got a question. Was the scandal, taking place this year, or has it been just, years
past couple? No, it was going on this year, I'm pretty sure.
Then you would expect their situation their points to be docked in that regards for the top 25.
I mean, theoretically, the voters have to vote as in if they didn't know about it, but they do.
Moving away from college football into college tennis, we have our next guest.
Now we're joined by Jack Burdell, committed to Wofford for tennis. I mean, just walk us through that commitment and how you're getting prepared for the next level of tennis.
I mean, Coach Ray was looking at me since beginning of junior year. I always knew I wanted to play D1 tennis in college. Just 10 years of hard work in the making. I'm looking forward to hopefully playing my first year, getting there this summer, grinding, just working my butt off.
And now, looking at this year, you're a senior, been able to play with your brother for as you said, 10 years or so. What does that mean to you, going to final year of high school, being able to play alongside someone that you'll be with for the rest of your life?
I mean, it's going to be our best year yet, doubles-wise. We've won state the last 3 years. Kind of just took control of Georgia, to be honest. This year, we're going to try to go undefeated, combine 25-0, and just tear things up.
Mm-hmm. And then what was it like going through the college process and the recruiting process? I know you said the coach been looking at you since junior year, but what really made Wofford stand out over some other places?
Stressful. All the Fridays missed, the Mondays, not wanting to wake up in the morning, the long practices. Wofford, special to me, it's just close to home, which my family can come up on the weekends. It's 5,000 students, so that's the type of feel I wanted. And just coach was awesome. Love the players there. It's a great institution.
And then going back to your Westminster career, as it is your last year, the Westminster tennis team has been awesome. The Instagram, the 5-0 Mafia, it's always fun to look at. Now looking back at all your 4 years, do you have a favorite memory?
Everything was fun. I mean, seeing Kanav and George and all those guys have fun because they weren't playing tennis in college. That was awesome. Chattanooga last year was unreal. The Blancos, they've been awesome. I'm going to miss every minute of it.
And just looking back at your high school career, has there been any specific player that's been older than you that really kind of was a role model to you?
I mean, your brother was awesome, Ryan. Even though he played baseball, he was a great mentor. He texted me right after I committed. I mean, the coaches at Westminster have been unreal. Just everyone's been really supportive in this process.
I mean, what was it like? You announced your commitment. I'm sure you're flooded with texts, DMs, and then today getting to put the pen to the paper. What has that whole experience been like?
It's actually pretty tough. Just nerves. Didn't sleep the night of my commitment. Was so nervous. It was awesome seeing everyone on Instagram and messages get hype. That was pretty cool. Support has been crazy, and it was just 10 years of hard work in the making, which just makes it feeling like no other.
I mean, I bet it does. I mean, congratulations again
Thank
from
you,
us
thank you.
here. Congratulations on Wofford, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Sounds good.
As we have someone leave, we got a new person, Phillips Moore, in the house.
Now we're joined here by Phillips Moore. Phillips, you committed to Duke. Talk us through that and talk us through your future in track and field.
All right. So, it was a hard commitment. I had to decide between a lot of great schools, a lot of academic schools, but I think I made the right decision. I know I did, actually. I love the sense of community there, and I'm excited to have my next 4, possibly 5 there, and have a great time and become an NCAA champion.
And Phillips, senior now at Westminster, your entire team has had a very successful past couple of years. Which one's been your favorite, and what's been your favorite memory at Westminster?
Favorite year, favorite memory for track? I'll have to say, I really liked that sophomore year at Carrollton. It was a really good group. There was a lot of fun, a lot of good jokes, a lot of camaraderie, as Coach Romberg would say from football. It was probably my favorite team so far. All the other years have been great, but that team was pretty close. It was really fun.
And then going to Duke, a place where academics are so hard, as well as you can be a student athlete just like you were here at Westminster. How has Westminster really set you up for that challenge?
I think, I just kind of trust Westminster. I mean, my parents sent me here for a good reason. I think they've prepared me really well. I've asked a bunch of people how they have done in college. I asked my sister who's at Rhodes, like, how's she doing? She says Westminster really prepares you really well, so I'm really excited. I think Westminster did a great job.
I mean, you also have a pretty big presence on campus outside of sports, a co-chair, and you were bestowed with the PAN honor this year. Talk us through what's been your favorite moment just outside of the track and field area.
Ooh, I'll have to say, it's a hard question. Probably with the PAN, I'd have to say maybe the Lovett game, because that was just, there's a lot of energy there, a lot of noise. My ears were kind of gone after that. Couldn't hear much. If you're ever near me in the stands, you'll see you can't hear much when you're next to me. That was probably my favorite, just seeing that, especially getting the win after the loss last year in the playoffs. And it was just a great environment and great time to be there.
Yeah, well, we can hear the PAN up in the booth. But thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on Duke. That's a awesome achievement.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty.
Falcons?
We were just talking about college football before Phillips here came, and we got to talk with him. But now over to the professional, over to NFL, and whoa, I just saw this. This is very random. Martavis Bryant is back in the league.
Oh, yeah, he signed a big contract with the Cowboys.
I don't think it was a big contract. He's on the practice squad.
No, but look at the
Money?
Yeah.
No way it was a lot.
It's surprising for someone who hasn't been able to play football since, I believe, 2019.
He was in the XFL.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's still the jump from the XFL to the NFL it's very considerable, and I mean I don't think you can compare them in as much, but it's still gonna be it's great for him, great for his family, great for the Cowboys, and for the Falcons, they're making it right now. They're second in the NFC South. I mean, it's really just a battle of the mid. They're one game behind the Saints. Both the Saints are 5-4, Falcons are 4-5. I mean it's the Falcons aren't too fun to watch as of now, but. They have some potential. I'd say they have a low floor but a moderate ceiling.
Hey, Arthur Smith, if you're watching this, maybe you are, you could be, because I know some of us are on campus. Give the ball to your first round draft picks. I'm not even a Falcons fan. I do happen to have Bijan on fantasy, and I'm a Texas fan. But give it to Kyle Pitts. Give it to Bijan. Give it to what's 5? Drake London. Get it to your men and let them make plays. No one wants to see Jonnu Smith.
I mean, Jonnu Smith has been doing, with what he's been given, he's doing a really good job.
As a former Patriot, I mean, Alex can really appreciate what he's done for the
Well, he's done nothing for these.
Yeah, he did nothing for them.
No one can do anything for the Patriots. But fun fact about Arthur Smith, his father is the founder of FedEx. But
I'm a
talking
UPS
about
guy,
that,
personally.
the way that the Falcons have been playing this year has been a little bit confusing. Taylor Heineke got the start last game. Veteran presence did a good job of. Let's look at the what was the score? Yes, the Falcons put up 28 points last game. Unfortunately, no win. But Taylor Heineke, solid game, exactly. And he's only been there for a little bit. Jonnu Smith, 5 receptions, 100 yards. Kyle Pitts, 4 receptions for 56. And look all the way down there. Yep. Wow.
No Drake London.
No Drake London.
And look, do we have rushing stats?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
Yeah,
Bijan,
Bijan
51
went
yards.
11 for 51. I mean, that's fine. He's averaging 4.6 per carry. You'd think he'd get more carries than just 11, but
You would think.
You would
and,
think.
you know, if we want to move away from Falcons, one thing we didn't cover because it happened the night after we recorded the podcast, Texas Rangers are World Series champions and champions of the world for the first time in their lifetime. That doesn't make sense. In the team's history.
Correct.
That's
And
the phrasing.
they had a pretty good year. I mean, it was pretty crazy that they were a 100-loss team 2 seasons ago, and they were
Yeah.
able to turn that around and bring a World Series back to Texas. More specifically, probably the Dallas area. I don't think we're gonna be counting Houston. But not in the Dallas area, in the Southern California area. We have USC, now we have Grace Smith here to talk about. Now we're here joined by Grace Smith, who just committed to USC pretty recently for her track and field. Can you talk to us about that, why USC, and what made it such a great choice?
Yeah, USC has been my dream since I was 9. It's been on the vision board forever. It's actually on top of in front of my bed. And I just loved it there. The weather, amazing. So, and the coaches were just so inviting, and they really believed in me and thought I had real potential. So I just decided to go there, and they also have great academics. So.
In your last year for high school track and field, do you have any personal goals for you, or what are you looking for the team?
I really want to win state as a team again. I think that would be great for us to have 3. I think back-to-back, so that would be great. And then I also want to break my school records and just go for everything I can.
And what has it been like seeing the hard work that you've been putting in out on the track over the past lot of years and seeing it really pay off with your commitment and then today signing?
Yeah, it's amazing. I just feel relieved that I finally my dreams are coming true, and it's just happening all at once.
And the track team really is a family. Can you talk to us about that bond and how well the team has really been like a family again? Yeah.
Well, my teammates are always super supportive. They're always at the meets. We're always cheering each other on. It's just really fun. We have a lot of fun all the time. So. Yeah.
And has there been a specific player athlete that's inspired you to push your game forward or try new things?
So when I was little, it was Allison Felix. She's one top Olympians, and now it's a lot of jumpers. So Tara Davis, she went to Texas, and so she is really a jump mentor to me.
And then last question, any coaches, people that you really want to thank for, helping you get here?
I want to thank all the Westminster coaches, and then I also want to thank my club coaches, and then especially my mom. She coached me when I was younger, so she really helped me get to where I am.
Thank you for joining us. Congratulations on USC, and wish you the best of luck in your next 5 years, including your senior year.
Thank you, Grace. And, that's all 7 of the people who signed today. But let's wrap up the sports that we're in the middle of covering. Like I mentioned, World Series, Rangers won. I think the reason this win by the Rangers set off some things in this MLB offseason. I think with it being Bruce Bochy's first year and him being a great manager, I think that led the Cubs to go and poach Craig Counsell for the biggest deal for an MLB manager in history. I kind of think that they had some correlation there.
He actually makes more money than Ozzie Albies per year, which is kind of crazy to think about. I know the Braves are known for fleecing their
Both
players.
of them second basemen.
Yeah, but still crazy to think about, too.
Well, Craig Counsell's an elite athlete, so he deserves more money than Ozzie. But also the Braves, their front office is incredible. They've been able to sign so much young talent for long-term deals and not really hurting their pockets that much, which has just been, it's come to fruition for the Braves.
Yep. The Braves are really just, when you strive to be a baseball team on the diamond and business and financially, you just have to strive to be the Braves. The Battery, they bring in so much money, so much
Mets
revenue.
are cop in the Battery.
Exactly, I did see that. Yeah, they're creating some sort of around.
Where would they fit that in Queens?
That's
They have
a great
parking lot.
They're destroying everything, and there's an $8 billion remodel, and they're trying to be more like the Braves every single day.
All right, I think that's it. This was a great episode. We had our most guests ever. We had 7 people sit down in that chair next to them on one of the bigger days in their life, signing to go off to go play, compete in college. And I mean, I think this is a really special episode we just had.
I mean, we got to be just a small part of it. I mean, they have so many people supporting them, and we're happy just to be one of those.
And to bring a spotlight.
Yeah, so proud of all of you guys. What you guys have been able to accomplish for Westminster has been great, but also just on the personal side. I mean, putting in the countless amount of hours and just getting to where you guys are, it's very inspiring.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we wish you guys all the best of luck in your future athletic endeavors. And that's all for us.
Go Cats.